It's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Big O for M&S Air Conditioning. You know, air quality in your home and business is more important than ever. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning and let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit. Folks, it attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. With stellar customer service, answering your call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. For more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans, visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And in that split second, her life changes forever. The toll of breast cancer is great. The need to support those who are battling the disease today is even greater. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change a lifetime. United by hope, we can end breast cancer. Join our fight. Save lives.
Welcome back to Sunday Sports Drop. To reach out to Jazz, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Back to the Sunday Sports Drop.
Here on the Sunday Sports Drop. Yeah, Santana. That was Brady Hawk with Hawk Talk. Always bringing it strong. Our Miami Heat insider there does some really great work with 5 Reasons Sports. You can always catch him. He'll put out an article every single night. Literally, the minute the clock hits 000 in the fourth quarter, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. He some really great content. So make sure you check him out on 5reasonsports.com. That was Brady Hawk. A lot of stuff to go over there with the Miami Heat as we get ready for the stretch run. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if they make any more moves, and we see if they get back into the swing of things and get some more W's under the belt. Definitely needs better play from guys like Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson and the whole gang. So let's switch gears though real quick. Something I mentioned earlier today at the top of the hour was March Madness. It is absolutely maddening what's going on in March Madness. I mean, it's unbelievable. Is it surprising? Yes, and I'll tell you why. Right? Typically, I'm not surprised if maybe 1 or 2 double-digit seeds make it out of the round of 64. But we're talking about, I think it's somewhere along the lines of, I don't know, 10 maybe? 10 teams? I'll tell you right now. So biggest one I think a lot of people are talking about is the Oral Roberts victory over, I believe it was Virginia that Oral Roberts beat. Ohio. Another 13 seed beat a 4th seed. Okay, it was Oral Roberts over Ohio State. Yes, Oral Roberts over Ohio State in overtime. That was a 15 over a 2, and that was the biggest one because Ohio State missed a couple of free throws. And by the way, poor kid, man. Listen, I don't care if your school is a rival or whatnot, or how much you hate or love your school, okay, or the rival school, man. But no one should ever be subjected to what this kid went through after the game. Death threats, people calling him names, racist comments. You got to be, first of all, you're a knucklehead. Let's just put it that way. You're an absolute fool. Okay, if you're a grown-ass man texting or messaging this kid, okay, on social media, threatening him, calling him all sorts of names, okay, you internet tough guy, you moron. Like, how are you going to do that? First of all, grow up. You're a grown-ass man and you're doing this to a kid who missed a shot in a basketball game? Probably because you had a lot of money riding on it, or more money than you should, because that's the only reason I can think of that someone would do such a stupid thing as to insult, threaten, or verbally abuse a kid. Like, grow up. Who does that? Anyways, yeah, so Ohio State loses. And as much as I'm happy about that because, for Miami's sake and because I grew up watching the Fab Five, so I love Michigan basketball, who happens to be a 1 seed, and they're taking on LSU tomorrow because they won their round of 64. But we're talking about UCLA. That's number 1. Abilene Christian, another huge upset over Texas, okay, over number 3 Texas. So you got Abilene Christian, UCLA. You've got Maryland, who beat Connecticut, okay. So you've got another double-digit seed there. Then you've got Ohio, okay, who beat Virginia. Oral Roberts, okay, that's already 4. You've got another one in North Texas. That's another one, another big shocker, is North Texas over Purdue, okay, at 13 over a 4. Let me see. Oh, Oregon State beating Tennessee, although I kind of saw that one coming. Okay. A lot of 12s over 5s along, throughout the years. So I saw that one. Another one was Rutgers beating Clemson. So we're talking about 6, and then Syracuse beating San Diego State. So 7, okay, maybe not 10, but 7 double-digit seeds made it out of the round of 64, if I'm not mistaken. That's pretty big, man. That's huge, actually. So, I mean, you're talking about 7 teams now that nobody thought, well, I guess unless you went to that school or, have some sort of love for that school, and you guess lucky and you put it in your bracket. But the truth is that you always think maybe 1 or 2 teams will get out of it. Now the question is, how far can they go? I mean, look, everything else kind of lines up nicely for tomorrow's games. So I think it's going to be fun to watch tomorrow's games. I don't know if you get any games today, or there might be a break today. And oh yeah, actually, yeah, you do. Oral Roberts and University of Florida play today. So there are games today. My bad. It should be every day, if I'm not mistaken. It is March Madness. But again, so many teams that nobody had any idea who they were or how good they are. And this is the thing with college basketball, and I equate it a lot to college baseball. You sometimes get players that are absolute studs that don't make it to the Division I level or Power 5 conference or whatever you want to call it, because they just can't get in academically, or maybe they had some sort of issue, with some prior history of, I don't know, maybe they got in trouble or whatever the case was. Or they couldn't afford to go to a bigger school, right? So they go to a smaller, couldn't afford to go to a big-time Power 5 school, but they can go to their local university, public university, and get a really great education. That's my thing, right? Like you can get a great education anywhere you go, all right? All this crap about you have to go to Stanford, or you have to go to Harvard and Yale or Brown, Cornell. No, man, listen, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter, okay, where your kid goes to school. You can get a great education anywhere as long as you want it. Bottom line, okay? So I'm happy for these kids that are playing at the Oral Roberts of the world and the North Texases and, or even Oregon State, who is a big-time school, though, and Syracuse is a big-time school. But the Oral Roberts of the world and the Ohios and Abilene Christian, I mean, come on. Big ups to them. They probably have a couple, 2 or 3 guys that are very good basketball players. They got hot, and they beat a big team. That's it. And that happens. That happens a lot, not only in basketball, but in college baseball as well. Because you get so many good players that don't play at the big level, at a big school, because they just, for one reason or another, couldn't get in, had, prior history of getting in trouble, whatever it was. And these smaller schools gave them a chance. And that's going to happen more than not. You're going to get a lot of times where some of these schools, get these kids that aren't very well known because they play for a smaller school, and they come out and they put 30 or 40 points on a Texas or on a Ohio State, and you're like, geez, where the heck did this come from? And that's how it is, man. That's March Madness for you, baby. It's fun. It's exciting to watch. So stay tuned, because you're going to get some more exciting stuff coming out. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit Deshaun Watson, because I know everybody's still on the Deshaun Watson train. Let's see what the heck is going on with that guy. We'll talk a little bit about that. We got a little switch up here when we talk Kings football at the top of the hour, but I'll let you guys know when we come back. Miami Dolphins fans can always count on the best coverage at OnsideRadio.com. Every week, keep up with your favorite team as Dolphins writer Omar Kelly joins us with exclusive reports and when news breaks. Catch the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report on the home for Dolphins fans everywhere, OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
I'm Ryan Seacrest. When you call 911 and ask for help, first responders show up. Now, let's show up for the people who show up for us every day and every night.
Go to firstrcf.org to learn more.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around, and every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect, in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
If you missed Man of the Match with Alex Dano, you missed.
And this happens in a lot of food polls, right? When I put out a food discussion, and I claim that one thing is better than the other, the people who are the fans of the thing that I don't like as much will always say, oh, you've never had my abuelita's tres leches. Well, no crap. I don't know your grandma. She's never invited me over. I hate that argument. It's like, oh, wait, you think tiramisu is better? You've never had my abuelita's homemade tres leches. Well, until she invites me over, bro, how am I supposed to try? You've clearly never been to Florence where they have great tiramisu, so don't give me your crap. You've never had my nonna's tiramisu.
Yeah, I haven't.
And you'll never have it. She's dead.
Oh, God.
You'll never have it.
I really wanted to.
You're SOL. She didn't save the recipe. It died with her.
Oh, no.
Man of the Match with Alex Dano on South Florida's home for sports talk, OnsideRadio.com.
Parents, we know we can't protect our kids from everything. Eventually, they're going to bump their heads or scrape their knees. But we can protect them from 6 types of cancer. HPV, or human papillomavirus, is a common preventable virus that can cause cancer later in life. The HPV vaccine prevents human papillomavirus and all the cancers it can cause. The American Cancer Society recommends getting your sons and daughters the HPV vaccine starting at age 9 to protect them later in life.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
I'm 54, so basically, it's too late to start saving for retirement, right?
Not right. Starting to save, even in your 50s, can really make a difference.
Well, right now, saving seems hard to wrap my head around. Plus, with the way this year's been going...
Hey, listen, it's okay. You still got this. Just go to aceyourretirement.org. It's an online tool from AARP that can help you get your retirement savings on track no matter your age. It's free and only takes about 3 minutes.
I like 3 minutes.
Yeah, at aceyourretirement.org, you'll chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer a few questions and you'll get a personalized plan and tips to help boost your retirement savings. Tips that are easy to understand and tailored to your lifestyle.
I like that too.
Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back. Just head to aceyourretirement.org and make your plan to start saving for retirement.
Thanks.
That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
These are unprecedented times. Challenging how the YMCA works to strengthen community as we have for nearly 170 years. But we've always found ways to help people and communities in times of crisis. Right now, Ys across the country are providing emergency childcare, shelter, food programs, and outreach to seniors. But we can't do it alone. Whether you're connected to the Y or have a fond Y memory, we need you to stay with us. Reach out to your local Y today and stay with us for a better us.
Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Drop. You can send Jazz a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's your host, Jazz Santana.
Back in the Sunday Sports Drop, Jazz Santana here into Miami CF Stadium. This place is beautiful. Right next to the airport. This is a beautiful place here. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, this beautiful Sunday morning. My producer, Abel, on the ones and twos back there doing an amazing job. We just had a really great segment with Brady Hawk Talk, and then we spoke a little March Madness. But let's get into, oh, by the way, phone lines are 888-441-4623. You can also text in at 844-416-8123. Send me all your questions, man. Give me a call if you want to talk this Sunday morning, if you are up getting ready for church. All right, getting ready to confess all your sins from Saturday night and Friday night, especially this going on with spring break, all the spring break madness that's going on. I'm happy that they closed down South Beach.
No, you're not one of those guys.
Oh, you damn right I am.
You're not one of those guys.
Damn right I am.
Oh, boy.
I mean, come on. Are you kidding me, Abel?
Yeah, I love it.
Are you kidding me?
No, I love it, man.
How can you love that? How can you love the madness that's going on with everything? With everything. They're destroying
What are they destroying? Come on, bro. What are they destroying? That's a little bit exagerando right there. That's
It's absolutely
destroying.
not. Have you seen the videos?
Yes. What have they destroyed?
What do you mean? They destroyed a restaurant. All these the outside sitting part.
Oh, okay, the one that got hit twice?
No, there was a huge brawl.
Uh-huh.
And all the fencing that was outside, it was like a white fencing cover, kind of like blocking off.
Okay.
For their restaurant, and all the tents and all the tables smashed into pieces.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and they left without paying the bill.
Okay, so that is the one that got hit twice.
I don't know if it got hit twice.
Yeah, I believe it's that one. When you said they left.
Complete mess.
Yes, they destroyed it.
And all the shootings that are going on.
What shootings?
There was gunfire. There was another video out there of some more gunfire. Yeah,
dude, I must be in a cave somewhere, man.
Absolute madness, man.
Man, Big O got me working so hard. I don't even know what the hell is going on out there in the real world.
Oh man, you know what? Just people just need to be civilized. I don't care who you are, where you're coming from. Just be civilized, and everybody comes here to wild out, and that's fine. Everybody can have a good time.
So it's the tourists doing this. It's not. It's not the locals.
It's tourists. No, it's tourists. It's spring break, man. So you get the tourists. You get all the college kids.
All the college kids.
Yeah.
A lot of alcohol.
A lot of alcohol.
And a little bit of marijuana.
First of all, mixed with thousands of people. When obviously, social distancing gets thrown out the window.
Yeah, right. Okay? Social distancing.
There's no such thing as a mask. Look, put it this way, okay? The other day, I went to go get dinner.
Okay.
For me and my fiance at a little spot in Doral to get some Peruvian food.
All right.
And when I get there, when I come in, it's a little small plaza in the middle of right off of the expressway right there on the 826, right by TGK where the courthouse is.
Oh yeah, I know where you at.
Okay. So I'm right there, and I pull in, and all of a sudden I see 200 people. And as I get closer, I start noticing these people must be 16, 17, 18 years old at the very most.
Okay.
Everybody dressed like they're going to some sort of nightclub.
All right.
And I'm like, where the hell is a nightclub in this damn plaza?
Oh, you're talking about the little Spanish plaza over there.
Yes, the Spanish one. Where Pantera Guns is and all that stuff. Okay?
Yeah.
There's a little Peruvian spot on the bottom. And as I'm standing there, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Dude, it was like 200 or 300 kids climbing the stairs to go to some small little, like you said, a little Latin club. But it was weird, and at one point I was like, "What is going on with this craziness?" And then I thought to myself, oh, that was me. about 20 years ago.
Exactly. We forget we were young one time.
I was like, who am I to talk, right?
Exactly.
But you can tell, man, the restaurant owner downstairs was absolutely miserable.
Maybe because after the club, they're all going down there to eat.
Yeah, he should be right spending some money on them, man. Jesus. I know we got to go to break now, so just real quick, Deshaun Watson allegations, stop. Okay, stop with this madness, Houston Texans. Let the guy go. Stop making stuff up to defame his character and his name. It's not right. He wants a trade. Get him out of there. Start your morning every day at 8 a.m. with 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh. The boys cover all local sports stories while providing some great Miami Hurricanes insight. Download, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. 4th and 20, 8 to 10 a.m. only at onsiteradio.com. When we come back, Brad Tejeda joins us to talk Miami Hurricanes football, baby.
You're listening to the home of Inter Miami CF.
His strike is a decent one. It's fired into the top right corner. Gonzalo Higuain opens his account for Inter Miami.
OnSideRadio.com, where the passion for La Rosa Negra runs deep.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And in that split-second moment in time, her life changes forever. The toll of breast cancer is great. The need to support those who are battling the disease today is even greater. And that's why when others look away, Susan G. Komen leans in. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change a lifetime. Fighting breast cancer takes funding for research to discover the next new treatment, providing access to quality and affordable health care, and people willing to take action by raising funds and raising their voice to advocate for others. United by hope, we can end breast cancer. Join our fight. Save lives.
Big O for M&S Air Conditioning. You know, air quality in your home and business is more important than ever. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning and let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit. Folks, it attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. With stellar customer service, answering your call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. For more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans, visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
My daughter is Marina. Marina has a rare form of children's eye cancer, retinoblastoma. Her doctor sent us to a specialist, and then the specialist sent us to St. Jude. Within the first couple weeks of us getting here, I was just so scared. I think the reality just hit me, and it kind of hit me all at once. I had started to cry, and her doctor came in, Dr. Brennan came in, and just didn't even say anything, sat down beside me, and hugged me and held me while I was literally sobbing. And she just said, "It's gonna be okay. We don't have to worry anymore. The treatment worked, and we've saved her eye." This place has been such a blessing for us. There's no way we could have paid for treatment back home if we had to. We can come here and we can just solely focus on taking care of her and helping her heal.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Kick back and relax. Time to get in on a Sunday sports groove. Onside Radio presents the Sunday Sports Drop with Jazz Santana. To reach out to the show, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. The text line is 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Let's get started with this week's Sunday Sports.
Drop!
Welcome back to the 8 o'clock hour here on the Sunday Sports Drop, high atop Inter Miami CF Stadium here. This is the Sunday Sports Drop with Jazz Santana. You can find us, give us a call, 888-441-4623, or you can text us at 844-416-8123. You can also catch us on YouTube. We're on YouTube, on Onside Radio YouTube channel. Catch us on Twitch, all your podcast platforms as well. You'll be able to listen to every segment individually or the whole show together. We've got a lot of great content. We've talked to Brady Hawk. We've talked a little bit of Deshaun Watson, some March Madness as well. But what we're going to get in, we got to get into my favorite of all is some Miami Hurricanes football. We're going to get Brad Tejeda on here now on the show to talk a little Miami Hurricanes football. So we're pretty excited about that. Spring football, a lot of things going on, and I think we got him on the air, and we'll get right back into it. Let's talk Miami Hurricanes football with Brad Tejeda, who is an amazing contributor, I guess you could say, with Canes Insight. You can always hear him on his YouTube channel there on Canes Insight, and also contributing all things Miami Hurricanes. What's going on, Brad? Thank you for joining us today.
Jazz, what's going on today, man? Good morning.
Good morning. I know it's early for everybody on a Sunday morning, but we're here grinding it out, and what's better to do on a Sunday morning and talk some Miami Hurricanes football, baby?
Oh, there's nothing better than talking some Hurricanes football. We've been so patient, for the last few months with everything that's been going on throughout the year, and to finally see that orange and green back on green tree pads, finally full on. It's go time. We got Alabama in a few months, so we got to buckle up.
Oh my God, I can't believe that. And obviously, what's fun and exciting also is we keep seeing the tweets and the pictures of Derek King rehabbing his knee, looking strong, ahead of schedule. So we're excited about that. However, we got a lot, like you said, we got a lot of stuff going on Green Tree practice field right now with spring football. We got the number 2 quarterback battle going on with Tyler Van Dyke, Peyton Matoka. I know that Jake Garcia is a little limited, so it's looking like TVD is separating himself a little bit from the rest of the guys, but I still wouldn't rule out Matoka or anybody else. But talk to me a little bit about what you have either heard or seen from so far in spring football.
Yeah, so the obvious thing is, like you said, Tyler Van Dyke kind of has the upper hand right now, being in the system for 1 year already, learning that Rhett Lashley offense, and just the physical stature that he carries with him is something that is hard to miss on the football field. But I will say, I don't think we should doubt Jake Garcia. If there's one thing you should learn by now with Jake Garcia, he is one of those young men where if you doubt him, that is when he plays at his best. A young guy that went from California to Georgia, and then from one school to Georgia to another, already as a high star caliber quarterback who didn't necessarily need to play any football last year, but he did it. Not only did he do it, but he won a state championship at a school in Georgia, and he was one of the top guys in all of high school football. And I think the passion and grind and hard work that he puts in, it's a mentality that it's hard to overlook. And from everything I've heard in practice, although Garcia has been somewhat limited, the last 2 practices, especially the last one that we just had a couple days ago in full pads, he had a nice couple of throws that Rhett Lashley and some of the coaches were very impressed with. So I wouldn't count him out yet. I think this is a good thing to have. It's something different that Hurricane fans aren't used to. We legit have a quarterback battle, and to make it even better, it's not even the quarterback battle for this year. It's potentially for the next 2 years.
I know.
So it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's absolutely unbelievable. And I'm with you, Brad. Look, for me, the most talented guy for me is Jake Garcia. Just based off of talent alone. I think TVD right now might have the nod because, like you said, he's been in the program already with Rhett Lashley for over a year. And by the way, so has Peyton Matoka. So, these 2 guys, excuse me, have been there for a year already, but you can see the talent. You can see the talent with Jake Garcia. I definitely wouldn't rule him out either. I was excited to hear that from you. I honestly didn't even know he, was practicing full force like that so far. As far as practice is concerned, especially that they put on the pads recently. Flipping it over to something else on offense. Excuse me, Jesus. Keyshawn Smith has been the biggest surprise, I think, for a lot of people. A lot of quarterbacks. If you're listening to the guys on defense, talking a big game about Keyshawn Smith and his get off the line, and the way he uses his hands and his speed. And he's always spoken about being that deep threat guy, but I think he's working on his intermediate routes and all that. Big surprise there. Are you excited to see Keyshawn Smith kind of, propel himself to possibly that wide receiver 3 position?
Oh, absolutely, Jazz. I mean, when we first signed him in the class last year, I ultimately thought that he was probably the biggest steal out of any recruit that we landed last year. And I mean, he didn't get in much last season, but the times he did get in, you could tell the burst and the speed he had. It jumped off the football field. It kind of reminded me of some Jeff Thomas-like as far as the quickness and just how quickly he was to get into that backfield on the defense. But going into this year, man, what I'm really loving is not only the interviews from other players and coaches, but just the passion and the hard work that some of these guys are putting in the offseason. I mean, Keyshawn Smith is obviously a name that is hard to miss during the spring, but another guy like Corey Flagg, Avante Williams, these young men are going the extra mile and finally putting in that extra effort that it seems like these Cane fans have been wanting to see and hear from for a while. But going back to Keyshawn, that's a young man that, I mean, he only had a one route last year, right? You know, the bomb, the fly route. But it seems like this year he's starting to condone and kind of look after guys like Stephon Diggs, Julio Jones. And what I thought was interesting was Rhett Lashley kind of bringing up not only what Keyshawn Smith was doing, but some of the things that he was teaching Tyler Van Dyke, watching some film of Patrick Mahomes, to where you don't necessarily have to throw the deep ball every single time and go for the big play. You can always go for the short yardages and kind of the dump-off plays, right? And I think that's where you utilize some of these speedy guys like a Keyshawn Smith and Xavier Restrepo, a Brashard Smith. Some of these guys, you could just throw it, 2 yards right behind the line of scrimmage, and it's almost like an extended run.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be excited to watch him. I know another guy that we've been taking a look at that looks like he's gotten a lot stronger, is starting to get real healthy, is Michael Redding as well. I think he's another wide receiver that could really play into the mix at that, with some really good playing time at wide receiver 3. I know it's pretty much locked down. I don't want to say it's too early, but still, that it's Mike Harley and Charleston Rambo at the wide receiver 1 and 2. I think the biggest question mark has always been who's going to be that number 3 that's going to step up now this year. If it's Smith, if it's Redding, Restrepo, even the young guys coming in, the Jacoby George and Brinson and Brashard Smith. That's what's exciting about this team is now you've got that depth. Now you've got the exciting kids coming in, right? You see, the minute I used that word depth, it got you excited. I heard it in your voice there, Brad. Competition. That's where we need to get back to, Jazz, is to where the hardest competition we play every single day is on Green Tree, not who we play on Sunday. And unfortunately, it's going to be hard to do that. First game of the season, we're opening up against the Giant in Alabama. So, the stuff we're preaching right now, it's going to be hard to do that, overnight. But that's the thing with us Cane fans. A lot of things we expect to happen overnight, and it takes time to, build a culture, what Manny Diaz is doing, have the right pieces around you, whether it be the football players or the coaching staff. And I think that's another thing, a lot of fans are overlooking this year is, that they go back to what is going to change this year that I didn't see last year, or what's going to be different that I should make myself believe that this Miami Hurricane team will be different. Well, we got a lot of alphas, whether it be football players getting them from the transfer portal, seniors coming back wanting to prove another year, or literally getting coaches that honestly should be head coaches at other places. A Rhett Lashley could have easily been a head coach at UCF this past year. A Bob Shoop, who has over 30 years of experience. A Jess Simpson, who was a head coach in high school in Georgia for, 20, 30 years and obviously came from the Atlanta Falcons. A Coach T-Rob, who has been a primed coach, that Miami has been wanting to land for years. And it seems like we're finally starting to get the right pieces together. I mean, you got an offensive staff that comes back another year. I'm hoping for a very fast-paced offense now that everybody gets a full offseason. Okay, so we've talked some spring football. We're excited about that. Scrimmages, I believe it's April 17th, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right on that date?
Yes, April 17th at 11 a.m. And from everything I've heard, it's not going to be fans, but they may possibly let family members of the players go to the game, but I'm not 100% certain on that.
Gotcha. Now, speaking of that, though, because it's important to kind of, segue to the recruiting, right, and what's going on for the 2022 class. Obviously, we've seen, I think the last of it with Cody Brown for 2021. We might get a couple more guys here and there, but they might count for 2022 either way from the transfer portal. But I think the biggest question is, as you see some of the 7-on-7 tournaments that are still going on in IMG and some other ones in some other places of the country, I know they're out there. There's a lot of recruiting, a lot of recruits that are out there that Miami's taking a look at. But I want to concentrate on the two that are really important, because I think that once one of these two, or maybe both of them, if they do decide to commit to Miami, I think you're going to see the pieces start to kind of really follow as far as, domino effect of more recruits, because we only have one recruit in 2022. Everybody's concerned about that. Me, not so much. I think you and I have kind of seen this play out before, and I think it's okay. But talk to me a little bit about what you like, and about Ja'Cory Brown, who's obviously a quarterback. He's one of the top-rated quarterbacks in the country, and also, to me, an underrated Isaiah Bond as well. So they're actually here in Miami right now. They're visiting on their own. Talk to me a little bit about them, and what is it going to, not what's it going to take, but how are things going to play out with them? Do you see them coming to Miami? Do you see them committing to Miami? Talk to me a little bit about them.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a little odd spot right now. As you can see, we only have one commit in the class, but I honestly don't even think he's a solid commit. So I would almost bring it back down to where we're kind of back to square one, and it's not a bad thing, right? I think having a guy like Ja'Cory Brown, who has like all the leadership qualities you look for in a quarterback, I think now what you're starting to see is we're starting to get legit quarterbacks to where they have all the leadership qualities that we've been looking for. I think the quarterback carousel that we've been on for the past, 7 to 10 years, always having to switch quarterbacks, we are finally starting to get, QB1s every single recruiting class, and that's what you need to do. You need to start stacking. And when you look with Ja'Cory Brown, he has all the physical attributes that you honestly cannot teach or get in a quarterback. That's all God-given talent. I think the thing with Ja'Cory is he just has to work on his accuracy a little bit. That honestly just takes time, repetition, mechanics, and just little tweaks here and there that I'm sure a quarterback coach like Rhett Lashley can fix. I expect him to definitely be in orange and green on Friday when he makes his announcement. As far as Isaiah Bond, you're talking about a 3-star athlete, who could play on the defensive side of the ball and also on the offensive side of the ball. Just got offers from Georgia and Alabama, so he's a big-time target. I think what helps with Isaiah is the familiarity and the comfort level that he has with Ja'Cory Brown. Ja'Cory Brown, I expect to, kind of lead this class and, like you said, be the domino to kind of bring guys on. I'm going to say right now, man, this Georgia to Miami pipeline is very real, and I think Cane fans should start to buckle up, because I know in the past it seemed like it was a South Florida thing where we only went after guys in our backyard. Well, this year's a little different. Most of the athletes, especially in the skill positions, aren't as deep in South Florida as they were in the past. So we're having to, kind of maneuver and find different other ways of getting guys in other areas. And Georgia being a prime example with not only Ja'Cory Brown and Isaiah Bond, but you can look for some other guys, a linebacker / striker and Jaron Willis, or Gerard Willis, who's also from Georgia. You also have Jake Pope, who is a safety out of Buford High School, the same high school that Isaiah Bond and Jeff Simpson was a legendary coach at. So it should be interesting. I think the Georgia to Miami pipeline is going to start to heat up, along with some other states like California. Having a coach like Coach Simpson and Coach Ishmael, those guys are going to help us get back into those areas. So it's going to be exciting. But I will say, Jazz, everyone's been overlooking this kid, and I think it's probably just because of his age, but he was also on the visit with Ja'Cory Brown and Isaiah Bond, and that is 2025 quarterback Colin Hurley at a Trinity Christian Academy. He's only 13 years old. He's on the same 7-on-7 team as Ja'Cory Brown, and he has actually outperformed Ja'Cory already as a 13-year-old and has won a state championship already. So that is a young man to look out for as well, and we're starting to already build a great relationship with him.
Jesus, 13 years old. That's absolutely unbelievable. Brad Tejeda here joining us on on the program. Brad, let them know where they can find your work, man.
Absolutely, man. So you can find me on canesinsight.com, where I do articles and contribute for the Canes Insight team. And we also have a Canes Insight YouTube channel that we just recently started about a month and a half ago. We usually are on at 9 p.m. every Wednesday live for the Cane fans to tune in. We typically, talk Hurricanes football every week. We will bring on current recruits that we are recruiting, guys like Earl Little Jr., Omar Graham Jr., Travius Lathan. And, yeah, man, Ja'Curry Brown and Isaiah Bond seem to be the hot topic, so I'm hoping to get those guys on as well this week.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on again. Always a pleasure talking Canes football with some of the best in the biz, man. Thank you so much, Brad.
Of course, Jazz, you as well, and you have a great Sunday. And as always, go Canes. It's all about the U. And don't forget, #Luka to the U.
That's right. Thank you so much, Brad. #Luka to you. That was Brad Tejeda from Canes Insight there talking some Miami Hurricanes football. Florida Panthers fans have a place to call home every Saturday morning as Cats insider David Dwork will host Chirping the Cats radio every Saturday at 10 a.m. Onside Radio is committed to all sports. Panthers fans can now connect every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. with David Dwork on the home for Panthers fans worldwide, OnsideRadio.com.
Now streaming online. Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Hi, it's Olivia Munn with my shelter pets, Frankie and Chance. Say hi, guys. When I adopted them, I discovered that they both have incredible personalities. Chance's sole purpose in life is to love and to be loved. Frankie is a little bit of a scoundrel and always entertaining. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the Humane Society of the United States, and Maddie's Fund.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
I'm 54, so basically, it's too late to start saving for retirement, right?
Not right. Starting to save, even in your 50s, can really make a difference.
Well, right now, saving seems hard to wrap my head around. Plus, with the way this year's been going...
Hey, listen, it's okay. You still got this. Just go to aceyourretirement.org. It's an online tool from AARP that can help you get your retirement savings on track no matter your age. It's free and only takes about 3 minutes.
I like 3 minutes.
Yeah, at aceyourretirement.org, you'll chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer a few questions and you'll get a personalized plan and tips to help boost your retirement savings. Tips that are easy to understand and tailored to your lifestyle.
I like that too.
Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back. Just head to aceyourretirement.org and make your plan to start saving for retirement.
Thanks.
That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Sundays at 9 a.m., Juan Cardona dominates the airwaves with One-on-One. From sneakers to video games to your favorite South Florida team. Tune in every Sunday to One-on-One, exclusively on your home for sports talk in South Florida, OnsideRadio.com.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
It's the sports therapy you need. Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Drop. To join the conversation, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Back to the Drop with Jazz Santana.
Back on the Sunday Sports Drop, Jazz Santana here. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us this lovely Sunday morning. By the way, it's still cold. I thought we were done with the cold weather, Abel. This is absolutely unbelievable that it's been cold this whole entire weekend. Like, enough with the cold weather already. I'm done.
It's a little refreshing, though.
Whatever. I mean, I can deal with it, but enough. That's it. Switching gears here. Speaking of weather, no, definitely not a good segue. Speaking of switching gears, though, Miami Dolphins free agency all but over now. But let's bring on Alfredo Arteaga from 5 Reasons Sports and also 3 Yards Per Carry podcast, which is, for me, is bar none the best Miami Dolphins podcast in the industry. Let's bring on Mr. Alf. Thank you so much for coming on the show this morning for us. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Can you hear us? There you go. There it is. There he is. What's up, Alfredo? How are you, buddy? Good morning.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Good morning.
Good, man. Thanks for joining us. Listen, I don't know. At the beginning, it was very anticlimactic, and then it started to pick up a little bit. Before we get into the guys that the Miami Dolphins have signed, give us a little bit of your outlook on what you thought free agency was like, not only for the Miami Dolphins, but the NFL in total, just as a whole. What did you think about the period, which I guess technically hasn't ended yet, but for all intents and purposes has?
It was rather interesting, wasn't it? It actually did look like teams actually ran out of money. And there's going to be even more players that are going to be out there in June and maybe beyond, maybe in season. Maybe there'll be guys that won't actually sign and actually sit out the year and wait to, they already had an opt-out year last year, right? Why not opt out this year? And this time it's not over COVID, it's over money. So it seems like the only guy that actually got the money that was allotted as far as like projected on Spotrac and all the other analytical sites that do this sort of thing were either edge rushers early on in free agency and Kenny Golladay, and everybody else went below market and well below market.
Well, I think a lot of people were surprised with maybe the Dolphins not taking some of the bigger names like the Aaron Joneses of the world, which, by the way, I was totally against. That's a topic for another day, but I did not want Aaron Jones just because of the amount of money that you had to pay a superstar running back, which doesn't equate to Super Bowl wins to me, but that's just me. I get why people wanted him, but him, Kenny Golladay is another one who I think they were pleasantly surprised with the moves that they made. I mean, including Will Fuller. I like the Will Fuller move. It's a 1 year for me. It's a 1 year prove it type of deal. It's $10 million, which is not bad. Talk to me a little bit about the Will Fuller situation and are you kind of interested to see if this play, because obviously his biggest issue has been, well, the PED thing, but also some injuries. So talk to me a little bit about Will Fuller.
Okay. Will Fuller, there's plenty to say, but on Aaron Jones, one thing very, very quickly. I think they looked at the franchise tag number, which was $8.7 million. Okay. And I think they figured if they could get him in here for a number similar to that, since Green Bay did not tag him, that he was probably going to be worth it. But in the end, Green Bay ponied up the $12 million a year that he wanted. So he's getting paid now as a top 3, top 4 running back. So that's it for him. As far as Will Fuller is he's an elite wide receiver. He just is. If you believe in the numbers that everybody else believes in as far as how they rank these wide receivers, the man had an 11.7 yard per target number last year. That's a ridiculous number. It's league leading, really. Okay, he was headed for a season of 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, over 80 catches. He's not only just a speed receiver, and I've seen people call him the new Mike Wallace. He's not. If you turn on the tape, he does everything. You could give him an end around. You could throw him screens. You could throw him quick slants. He works the intermediate zones. He works the deep zone, and then you have to respect him every time he lines out wide, because you really can't drop safeties in the box, especially not on his side, because he'll just run a go route on you, and every single go route he runs could end up in a 70 or 80-yard touchdown. So I love the signing, and I think it's an inspired signing. And you got to look at it another way. It's not, if he really works out, it's not really just a one-year deal for $10 million. It's actually a 2-year deal, because if you think about it, it could be a 2-year, $22 million deal, because the franchise tag is $11 million. So you could hold him here for 2 years. So I love the signing. I think that they did great work to get him in here. And I think it's an inspired signing, really. If he stays healthy, it's a home run signing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think for me, it's about his health. If he stays healthy, for me, he's an elite wide receiver, like you said, because he can take the top off the defense. But as you alluded to, he can work the intermediate routes also. So aside from him, we got a couple other pretty good signings, I would say, with Skura, Adam Butler, Malcolm Brown. Not sure. I have no idea who the hell Ethan Carter is, but whatever. Aside from that, the Coleman kid out of Detroit. Were any of these surprising to you, or were you kind of pleasantly surprised with one or two of these signings?
I thought the Matt Skura one was really interesting, because if you just look at it on the face of it, okay, this is a guy that 1 year to the date, almost a year ago, everybody was, especially in the national media, was thinking, okay, he's a restricted free agent, but the Ravens could extend him for, and there's the articles out there, for $50 million over 5 years. Okay, they thought he was a top 5 center a year ago. Well, then 2020 happens, and he plays okay, but somewhere around midseason he got the yips. He forgot how to snap the football. Now, it's a pretty big problem for a center, wouldn't you say? But if you just look at it on the face of it, if he's over those problems, and he says that he is, and there's some unsubstantiated rumors that he had a really bad injury that he hit on his hand, but nobody can verify that. But if he is over that, then I think they got a really good center, because this is a guy that hasn't allowed a sack since 2018. Okay, that's 2 years. He has 9 penalties in 4 years in the NFL. So this is a guy that plays clean and effective. And PFF, I don't really like the rankings too much, especially for offensive linemen, but they seem to love him, because his pass blocking ranking is ridiculous the last 2 years. So it's a sneaky signing, especially since they got him so cheap. But that one could work out big time.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a surprise for me. But when you laid out, and I think you laid out the numbers on Twitter also, if I'm not mistaken, of his numbers in the past 4 years, and barely giving up any sacks, and very, very disciplined when it comes to penalties and all that. I was quite impressed. Listen, and coming from a Baltimore Ravens team that is typically one of the more disciplined teams in the NFL, I like the signing. I was excited about it. I think that the one for me that kind of stands out is the Adam Butler signing. And the reason I say that is we basically swapped with the New England Patriots for Devon Godchaux, and we got Adam Butler. Although I think Adam Butler might be a little bit of a better player than Devon Godchaux was. I like his size. He's great against the run, which is something that we've struggled with in the past and recently. The Adam Butler one is very intriguing to me. I think that's a guy that can come in right away and make an impact on the team, especially in run defense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And they got him for a specific role. You could see ever since since they signed Adam Butler, then they went out and they got a guy that kind of does Cal Van Noy's role as far as on pass defense, as far as rushing the passer from the edge, in Scarlett from the Texans. So Adam Butler's going to play a specific role. He's going to play a lot of 5-tech. He's going to play right over the tackle a lot. And they essentially replaced Shaq Lawson and Cal Van Noy with Adam Butler. And I keep forgetting the guy's name, but his first name, but Scarlett, the outside linebacker
Brendan Scarlett,
from the Texans.
Brendan Scarlett, something like that.
Yeah, it's Brennan or Brendan, or I don't know. I'm not sure. But he shows up a lot on film when I watch Benardrick McKinney. So you got to think about it like that. Okay, maybe it's a slight downgrade from Cal Vinoy, but you are saving like $10 million because this guy's coming in a lot cheaper, and he does a facsimile thereof of the work that Cal Vinoy does. But you have a massive upgrade at middle linebacker in Benardrick McKinney. He's Pro Bowl level. Right. So I think that they did some interesting things on defense, swapped out money, and kind of are getting back the same production.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but very, very Patriot-esque of some of the moves that they made. Some of the other ones, not so much, kind of their own thing. Brian Flores had a vision, and they executed on it. And I like the Malcolm Brown signing also. Before we let you go really quick, just give me one draft prospect that we really should look out for as we get closer now that we've made some of these signings. Who's someone that maybe we should look at 3 or at 18 that is on the radar now for the Dolphins?
Start watching a lot of Kyle Pitts video because
I love it.
Because Will Fuller, you would think, okay, now you got a guy that takes the top off the defense and a guy that shifts safeties. Exactly. Now you have a guy who is going to command attention from safeties. And what does that help? It helps tight ends. So you can pencil in Gesicki for a pretty nice year if they don't draft Kyle Pitts. If you draft Kyle Pitts, you just have so many options on offense, and you've upgraded that offense so much that you can't help but think about the possibilities of what they can do if Tua really is the man. So yeah, I think Kyle Pitts is the guy that you just got to watch for.
I love that.
And it'll be fun if they do it. It'll be fun, even if they go get Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
the Will Fuller signing really just changed everything as far as this offseason.
Pretty exciting. You can catch Alf Arteaga at the 3 Yards Per Carry podcast, which again, it's the best out there, man. You guys do amazing work on 3 Yards Per Carry. Also on the 5 Region Sports Network, and his Twitter handle it's at Alf_Arteaga. Thanks again, Alf. Go back to go get some rest. I know that this is early here for you, brother, but I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, buddy. All right, so, okay, Saturday mornings are the best here. At 9 a.m., you get Sean Stanley, baby, who hosts the Square Circle Digest. Now, wrestling fans have a place to call home as Sean covers a very colorful world of wrestling. Tune in every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on the home for sports fans worldwide, OnSideRadio.com. Bye-bye. Yeah, we'll talk a little more sports.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Hey everybody, it's Good Greek Moving and Storage, and for over 2 decades, they've been entrusted to handle all of your moving and storage needs. And now, Good Greek is the official mover of Inter Miami CF. And if Inter Miami trusts the Good Greek, you should too. For the best move ever, whether it's across town or across the country, go to GreekMoving.com. That's GreekMoving.com for Good Greek Moving and Storage, the official movers of your Inter Miami CF.
If you missed Omar Kelly and the Miami Dolphins report sponsored by EJDconstruction.com today, you missed this.
And I believe I'm fully convicted on this. Deshaun Watson, if you get Najee Harris, the Alabama running back, at 18, I do not trade 18, and you add Deshaun Watson, make it for 4 first-round picks. Then you go move Tua for whatever you can get him for, and you add a wide receiver with that. I am convicted. I firmly believe that the Dolphins will be title contenders in the next 2 years because if Xavier Howard is still here and you possibly get a pass rush, so get a little bit better pass rushing, and everybody takes that second-year jump that we've seen under Brian Flores.
Right.
You should still have a top-5 defense. You get yourself a running game, an efficient elite quarterback with Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, Mike Gesicki, Albert Wilson, a young rookie that you want to groom. I don't see any reason why you cannot win 12 games.
Omar Kelly and the Miami Dolphins Report, brought to you by EJD Construction. Count on a company that's an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. EJDconstruction.com.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
I'm Ryan Seacrest. First responders are people who stand for a greater purpose. They will be there for you when nobody else is, to help you, your family, your community. This is their selfless promise. This is their sworn duty to protect, to serve, to help. They put themselves in harm's way for us. They come to the rescue at times when we need them most. First responders are making enormous personal sacrifices to keep showing up for us and fighting the good fight. Nearly 70% of all firefighters are volunteers. That means when they get injured or quarantined, they may not have a way to pay their rent or keep their family safe and fed. No matter who you are or where you live, when you call 911 and ask for help, first responders show up. Now, let's show up for the people who show up for us every day and every night.
Go to firstrcf.org and make a difference today.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And in that moment in time, her life changes forever. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change a lifetime.
It's the sports therapy you need. Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Drop. To join the conversation, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Back to the drop with Jazz Santana.
Oh, yeah. This is the Sunday Sports Drop. I can't do that voice, man. That's not for me. Sports radio's for me, man. Forget about the smooth jazz. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Man, but your name is Jazz, man.
I know. I'm smooth already, right?
Yeah, man. Your name is Jazz, man. See, you gotta add one of those.
I can't do that.
Welcome back to the Onside Radio with your main man, Jazz.
Damn, what you doing?
You like that?
What
you like that?
Back
huh?
there? What are you doing producing, man? Get over here.
No, man. That's your forte, man. You're the man. You're the man in Miami, man.
I can't do that.
That's your forte right there.
Miami Dolphins, baby.
Man, take a breath. Take a breath.
Somebody get me a respirator, man. No, I can't do it.
It's a natural thing for me. Man. Just got a natural deep voice.
Man. It is. I love it. It's awesome. By the way, thank you for everybody that joined us on the program today. Brady Hawk, Brad Tejeda, and of course Alfredo Arteaga, all did great jobs. We love talking to them. They know their stuff, man. Jesus, I love talking to all these guys. It's really exciting. Miami Heat needs to get back on track. That's number one, and they will. I have confidence. Abel, not so much. Abel just hates Spoelstra. He hates Miami Heat. He wants Spoelstra fired.
Don't do me like that. Please don't do me. I do not need my inbox blowing up like that. Please don't do me like that. I love the Miami Heat, and that's why I'm so passionate. Man, listen, I'm one of the few guys that actually fought for all Miami teams. I mean, physically fought. There was one time that I was so Miami programmed, you couldn't say anything negative around me. Oof. But I love Miami Heat. I love the Heat, not the individual players in the Heat. Eventually they become our stars. However, Spoelstra needs, in my opinion, to be looked at for a little bit of the credit for underachieving. That's all I said. I love Spoelstra. I don't want nobody else.
But have they really underachieved?
Yes, they have.
How? Explain to me. Listen, because if anything, they overachieved last year.
They overachieved
going to the
last
finals.
Year. Fine,
so
I got
right
it.
now they're playing. I mean, they won 11 out of 12 games, and then they
Yes.
lost 2. Right.
Right.
Obviously, we heard that from Brady, which I totally forgot.
Right.
So Is he really underachieving?
In my opinion, yes. For the simple fact is that you have the full team back. I mean, there is no exception.
Well,
and you
Avery Bradley's still out.
Who?
Avery Bradley.
Who?
Yeah, no, don't
exactly.
Fool me. Don't fool me. That's a big part. That's a big part.
Come on, man. Avery Bradley. Man, we haven't seen this dude in the whole. We don't need. I'm not saying we don't need him, but we haven't used him. So he wasn't part of our team last year. The main focus of our team is here. I feel that
that's my point. It's a letdown. It's a letdown because of what happened last year. So we're kind of skewed by that. You know what I mean? But I get it. I get how it could be. It could feel that way, and rightfully so, man. We overachieved, and we want to continue to do that. That's just the bottom line. So I totally get that. But are we underachieving? I don't know. I think that this team is right where it quote unquote should be per se. But we all want to see them do better, and I think they need to do better because we're kind of jaded by what they've done in the past and this whole heat culture thing. So I totally get it. 888-441-4623 is the phone line. Text line is 844-416-8123. You can also find us on Twitter at Onside Radio. Find me on Twitter at Jazz Santana. Check us out on Twitch. Check us out on YouTube at the Onside Radio, YouTube, radio.net app. We got so many places to Podbean, so all your podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, wherever you get whatever you get your podcast. Check us out there as well. You know what I was thinking about that I totally forgot to mention when I was talking about March Madness? I fill out my brackets, right? I fill out maybe 2 or 3 brackets, flip them around a little bit. I always wonder, will Warren Buffett really pay that $1 million for the perfect bracket? Which, by the way, 0 perfect brackets this year. That's it. They're done. There's no such thing as a perfect bracket this year. They all got stumped with all these double-digit seeds beating the single-digit seed. So I always wondered, man, imagine I get this right. Is he going to pay out? God knows I need it. I'll take it. I'll take whatever, after taxes. What do you get after taxes? Maybe you get $600,000 or something like that. Whatever. I'll take it. Is Warren Buffett really going to pay out? Because he does. He offers up $1 million for a perfect bracket. Obviously, you got to sign up, and it's got to be legit and all that. You can't write it down on a piece of paper and say, "Hey, Mr. Buffett, here's my paper. I wrote it down." No, you can't do that. So I always wondered about that. Which, by the way, I grew up a Fab Five fan. As much as I love my Miami Hurricanes, if Miami Hurricanes basketball was in the tournament, then I'd be rooting for them hardcore. But I grew up watching Juwan Howard, who's doing a tremendous job at Michigan right now, and Chris Webber, and Jaden Rose, and King, and all these guys. So I grew up watching these guys. So my team right now, my heart is with the Michigan Wolverines. And I really hope they go all the way and they win this thing. Okay? They got a good program. They got a good team. It's going to be a hard-fought battle to win because you got other teams out there that are really good, the Illinois of the world and some of the other guys, Baylor and Gonzaga and whatnot. But Michigan, man, Michigan is very good, and I'm hoping that they continue to move through and get to the finals. So that was interesting. By the way, great stuff from Alfredo on Will Fuller, Matt Skura, Adam Butler. So Malcolm Brown's another one. Justin Coleman, who's another cornerback, and then the Ethan Carter kid, who I'm not too sure who he is, but whatever. He was an H-back / tight end over in Cincinnati. So I'm excited about Will Fuller. Really, I really am. And I like the Malcolm Butler move because it really solidifies that running back position from a perspective. It's very, I know people hate this, but it's very Patriot-esque, right? Where they don't have a superstar running back. Although, by the way, guys, Malcolm Brown coming out of high school is one of the top running backs in the country. Usually happens that way. So is Myles Gaskin is up there as well. And we've got some other guys that could run the football half decent. Savannah Ahmed is another kid that can play a little bit. So I still see the Dolphins picking up a running back in the draft. Maybe not day one anymore because of the Malcolm Brown signing, but that's okay because my favorite running back is probably a day 2 guy anyways, in Javonte Williams. I love Javonte Williams. I think he's an absolute stud, but I also like the guy Gainwell, the kid over in Memphis as well. So I could see the Dolphins making some moves like that, but Alf brought up a great point on a prospect to really start looking for. how exciting. Coming from a Miami Hurricane fan, how exciting would it be to have Kyle Pitts here? The guy is basically a wide receiver playing tight end. I mean, and he's legitimately, and I know it's very cliche to say that about some really athletic tight ends, but that's what he is. Because he's a 4'5", 4'6" guy. He's 6'6", 250 pounds. But if you line him up in the slot, if you line him up outside, he's still going to hurt you. He's still going to beat your your cornerbacks. He's also going to beat your tight ends, your linebackers, because your linebackers can't cover him. He's got it all. He's got all the goods. He can run. He has all the route, the whole route tree. He can probably run that pretty well as well. So I'm excited. I mean, that would be great. That would be really great to see a guy like Kyle Pitts get drafted early, and don't put it past them to still go after an offensive lineman early as well, even with the Matt Skura signing. I mean, he's a center. So got my boy Juan here joining us on the program. He'll jump on in a little bit, but I think the biggest thing to take from it is, I don't think the Dolphins are done yet, making certain, small little signings here and there to kind of make their team better. Maybe not starter caliber, but as Alfredo mentioned, you're still going to get guys that are going to be available in May and in June and July that the Dolphins can make a play for as well. Plus, you've got the draft. A lot of prospect out there like your Kyle Pitts. I like Kyle Pitts at number 18 if they can get him. Maybe not so much at 3. I think at 3 they still need to get someone else. But I think it's going to be exciting to see what comes down along the road, which, by the way, was very anticlimactic to begin with. And I know Juan can kind of attest to this because he's part of the free agency show that they did this past week, and they kind of did it on the wrong days if you really think about it, right? Because at the end of the day, it was like the third day where they got all the signings. So we'll talk to him a little bit about that when we come back from the break. So you can now listen to Onside Radio anywhere and subscribe to your favorite podcast by downloading the radio.net app. Download radio.net in your app store. Search Onside Radio, where the South Florida sports fans call home.
Now streaming online. Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Parents, we know we can't protect our kids from everything. Eventually, they're going to bump their heads or scrape their knees. But we can protect them from 6 types of cancer. HPV, or human papillomavirus, is a common, preventable virus that can cause cancer later in life. The HPV vaccine prevents human papillomavirus and all the cancers it can cause. The American Cancer Society recommends getting your sons and daughters the HPV vaccine starting at age 9 to protect them later in life.
Riddle me this, with all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a new papadilla, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich, Papa John's.
I'm 54, so basically, it's too late to start saving for retirement, right?
Not right. Starting to save, even in your 50s, can really make a difference.
Well, right now, saving seems hard to wrap my head around. Plus, with the way this year's been going...
Hey, listen, it's okay. You still got this. Just go to aceyourretirement.org. It's an online tool from AARP that can help you get your retirement savings on track no matter your age. It's free and only takes about 3 minutes.
I like 3 minutes.
Yeah, at aceyourretirement.org, you'll chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer a few questions and you'll get a personalized plan and tips to help boost your retirement savings. Tips that are easy to understand and tailored to your lifestyle.
I like that too.
Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back. Just head to aceyourretirement.org and make your plan to start saving for retirement.
Thanks.
That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2021 season ticket member. Enjoy enhanced access benefits and pricing not available to general fans. Visit intermiamicf.com/tickets for more information.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
What is dedication? I am the father of a 9-year-old little girl and a 6-year-old little boy, and I find fatherhood both relentlessly challenging and relentlessly rewarding. My daughter is biological and my son is adopted. I love them both so much, from the morning when you wake up to putting them to bed at night, and every moment in between. It really is so special, and boy, is it exhausting. One thing that I fear about being a parent is the future for my children. I think a parent's job is to protect our children, but also prepare them for the world so they become good, kind human beings. But I'm also hopeful that the future holds a more inclusive and compassionate world for them. That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Drop. You can send Jazz a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's your host, Jazz Santana.
Yeah. Welcome back to Sunday Sports Drop. As we close this thing out here on this beautiful Sunday morning at the Inter Miami CF Stadium.
A little nippy today, huh?
Yeah, I was telling Abel, I was like, I'm done with the cold. All right, I didn't know it was gonna be cold again. You know, it's cold.
Like
it's cold
noon,
for us.
Yeah, okay,
it's
fair.
cold for us.
By noon, it's gonna be like 72 degrees.
I like to come out of my house in the middle of the street without a shirt on to kind of make sure everybody knows what's going on.
You can't do that right now.
I can't go out. I can't go out like that right anymore.
No, you can't do that right now.
Oh man, Juan Cardona here, joining us here as we do a little crossover talk. And I was going to use it to talk sports, but why? What for? When we can talk about, sports, let's talk about some music here. I was excited to hear. We were talking off air about some music that we like and things that kind of have changed a little bit, especially with this weekend. We'll talk about the weekend.
Yeah, you threw it out there.
Yeah, it's the weekend. It's the weekend. So, I when I first started listening to The Weeknd, and the reason we're mentioning it is because he came out with his original House of Balloons album after 10 years, at the 10-year anniversary, and then he came out with the Trilogy mixtape, and then he came out with Kissland and all the other ones, right? And I was there for his first concert when he first, started with it was the Kissland album tour, but he still threw in so much from the Trilogy, like Wicked Games and all the other, great Party and the After Party and all that good stuff. The Morning. So I mean,
you named some good ones right there.
I'm telling you,
those are some OG ones.
So before we came back on, I was about to tell you why I like that is because you hear the difference, right? The transition from more poppy commercial now mainstream music that he does, and if you hear his music back then, man, you hear the pain, you hear the love and the I hate to say it, the depression and everything in his voice, the darkness. And it's a completely different style than anybody else has. Hands down.
It's like it almost you probably pointed out to like most artists like Jay-Z and Kanye West for like their first stuff, like when they're when they're talking about their struggle, you feel them, you understand them more, right? But I can only relate to your struggle for so long. Eventually you're not struggling anymore.
Not anymore.
You know what I'm saying?
Not anymore.
You got a new set of problems, and I feel like that's when we kind of stopped understanding them. The Weeknd. Like I don't think I've heard a Weeknd song unless it's on the radio and it's accidentally played. I don't listen to the Weeknd anymore.
It's just tough now. I don't go to any of his concerts anymore. It's just, like you said, it's very poppy. It's a lot of young girls, and if you think about it, I'm yo, a 13-year-old probably shouldn't be listening to the soundtrack of House of Balloons or the trilogy.
Because I was in high school when that stuff started to come out, like senior year, and I would listen to those songs and I'm like, oh wow, this is some pretty dark stuff.
Yeah, man.
But what is a 13-year-old thinking hearing that? I think it would probably go over their head most times than not.
Yeah, because if you don't really understand it, you don't know what he's really talking about.
Yeah, because some songs he's talking about just straight up drugs.
He is the epitome of being completely lit.
He's like
when
Future.
he's doing this.
He's like Future, but the opposite, and people love him instead of hating.
It's unbelievable. It was drugs and sex.
That's literally all it
was. It was drugs and sex, but hardcore. You could put this guy on. You would put his album on OnlyFans, and he'd be a millionaire.
Listen,
right off the bat. All right.
It's crazy, and not to start up a whole nother debate, but it's like the WAP debate where they're I think was it the Grammys, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and some
that's okay to
heads,
have, but Pepe Le Pew, who's in love with a cat, forget about it. We got to cancel that. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, dude.
It's stupid. Juan, what do you got coming up now, man?
Bro, I got an exciting show. We're gonna do some free agency updates. It was a hectic week. We're gonna talk some Heat, which they started off the week pretty good and then kind of fell off and had some pretty big disappointments the last 2 nights. And then we're gonna go over Isaiah Wilson. That was
yeah, I didn't even get to that today.
It was so quick that we got him and let him go that most people didn't get to it.
Guy's troubled, man.
Yeah, man. And then just to kind of round it off, we're gonna do my tech that excites me. We're gonna do Mars Landing, and it's been pretty exciting to see all that stuff.
Nice. Check him out. He's on now from 9 to 11. Check him out here on the on the Sunday one-on-one with him. Real quick before we let you go. Saturdays at 8 a.m. baseball fans can get it deep into the count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase. Catch a show that talks Marlins and all the big stories in the major leagues every Saturday at 8 a.m. Seam heads have a new home. Listen to Deep Into the Count exclusively at onsiteradio.com. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Adios. Next Sunday. I don't know why I keep saying Wednesday. Next Sunday. Adios.
Onside Radio. No station in South Florida provides more live and local sports talk. Follow us on social media at Onside Radio.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person.